Hi, friends. Good morning, good afternoon. Whenever you're watching this video, I hope your day is going well. It's me, Mrs. Bailey, your primary principal, and I am excited to do another video with you today. So thank you so much for clicking on the video and for watching. And I want to say happy fall. I hope that you are enjoying some of the fall weather we've had. I can't wait to get some more fall weather. On my video today, I'm going to give you a few announcements and share a few things with you. Then I'm going to do a show and tell. And then I've got a book to read to you. Okay, so hang tight. We've got some fun stuff we're going to do on this video today. So I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who attended Community Day. Some of you came to the virtual sessions online. I saw so many cool pictures. I went to the Piedmont Park outing. I got to meet a lot of you there. And some of you told me about how you've been watching these videos. And I got so excited. And I also got to see Champ. There's a picture of me and the other GCA principals with Champ. This other big picture here, this group picture, is a lot of the kindergarten through fifth grade teachers that were able to come to the park that day. So thank you so much for your participation in Community Day. That was an awesome day of fun. And I am looking forward to the end of the year when we do it again. All right, friends, I also want to say thank you for completing the student survey for me a few weeks ago. Do you remember this survey? You had to pick from these smiling faces, happy faces, and not so happy face right there. And that was how you used, how you chose answers to respond to our survey. And this survey was so important because we really wanted to hear your voice, your thoughts, your opinions, how you're feeling about school. That's very important to us because we know how you feel about school helps you to learn and grow if in the best classroom environment possible. So that's why we wanted to hear from you. We'll be doing this again soon. It was so exciting that we had 457 students respond to the student survey. Thank you, friends. Round of applause. That was an amazing response. We were so excited. If you just joined us at GCA and you missed this survey, don't worry. Like I said, we're going to do it again. Now, I have to give a big shout out here. Which grade level received the most responses? Which one is the most completed from the survey? You see right here that they were all pretty close, but the biggest piece of this pie right here is kindergarten. Awesome job, kindergarten. Way to go. All right, now out of all grades, here are some of the responses that you gave. Your favorite classes are social studies. That was number one. Art was your second favorite overall, and third was science. So that is really awesome to know. I'm so glad that you're enjoying those classes. We're going to look at what makes those classes so fun that you're enjoying them the most so that we can do some of those things in your other classes too. Interestingly enough, your least favorite was writing. And I understand that, friends, because as a primary student, you're having to learn a lot about writing and it's hard work, but I'm here to tell you, keep going. Practice, practice, practice. Learning how to write, it's kind of like riding a bike. It takes a lot of practice or playing a sport. You just have to work at it a little bit each day. And it might not always feel like it's easy. It might not feel like you're getting any progress, but you are, I promise. Wait until you see your writing from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. You're going to be blown away. So I hope you're saving your work, okay? Save some things, keep a writing journal so you can look at it. Even after a few months, you're going to be like, wow, look at me. I'm also thinking something that would be fun for you if you enjoy social studies and science and art, use that with your writing, okay? Writing in social studies and science is the best. It's so much fun. All right, we asked you what makes GCA great, and the number one response was teachers. And if you gave your teacher a shout out by name in the survey, I let him or her know that. Your teachers were so happy to hear your comments, and we appreciate that. That was really special and really nice to hear that your teachers are so special to you. You also said that one thing that you love about GCA is getting to be at home. and getting to go to your live classes from your house. So we're so glad that that is something that you enjoy. Here are some of the things that you said would make school even better for you. You would like more time to make friends, more time to work in small groups, more brain breaks during class, more fun Friday. That was a popular answer. You'd like more chances to get on the microphone, to type in the chat, to use the whiteboard. And I'm so glad to hear that you enjoy those things. So we actually did an activity with our teachers all together where we shared and we worked on sharing with each other some of the ideas and how we do Fun Friday in class. Teachers shared some of their brain breaks with each other. We shared strategies for using jigsaw tools and teaching students how to use those and opening up those microphones. So we hear you and we appreciate you telling us what would make school better. And those are things that we are working on each and every day for you. All right, here's a couple of announcements, and then I'm going to do my show and tell. I know you're excited that fall break is coming soon. Hope you enjoy this time with your family. And I hope you get to do something fun, get outside and enjoy the weather. We are so proud of you and the great job you did taking IA1. If you're new to GCA, that's Interim Assessment 1. And those are just benchmarks, you could call them. They're just unit tests that we take every once in a while, every instructional cycle to see how students are doing and progressing in the standards that we've worked on in class. So this information is very important and it just helps your teacher to plan for the next instructional cycle. And friends, you knocked it out of the park. We are so proud of you with IA1. So coming up, we are going to take at the end of this month in October, IA2. All right, so IA2 is the week of October 25th. Now remember, kindergarten students work on their GKIDS assessments. They do their assessments with their teacher, okay? So kindergarten students, this does not apply to you, but your schedule does change just a tiny bit, and I'll explain that in just a second. So this is only first and second graders that take the IA. We will still follow the same IA schedule that we did last time. So your teacher will update Canvas again. We'll send you a notification of that in an email too. We'll make sure everybody remembers how the schedule works, but you'll see it in Canvas and Jigsaw as well. Basically, you take your IA each morning, and then you have 2 classes after lunch. And we do that Monday through Thursday because we have 4 IAs, 1 for science, 1 for social studies, 1 for math, and 1 for reading. And then once you finish those on Fun Friday, you'll be back to your normal schedule. All right, this is the only thing that's a little different for kindergarten is there's no electives classes this week. And that's because the rest of the school is on a different schedule. So we just won't have your electives class that week. If you're a first or second grader in AIM classes, those classes are canceled due to the schedule change as well. You'll be back to normal the following week. First and second graders, be sure to use the study guides in your Canvas course for each content. So in your science course, there is a study guide posted for the IA for science. Make sure to ask your teacher if you need help locating those. All right, and this is my last announcement before we do show and tell. I want to make sure that you know what our goals are that we're working on this year as a school. All right, and this is something that your teachers and I talk about often as well. So here are our goals for primary students. We want you to continue, because you're already doing this and you're doing a great job. We want you to continue attending and participating in your classes. So that's why we're so glad to hear you want more chances on the microphone, more time to type in the chat, because we want you to come to class and we want you to turn on that webcam and participate. Our second goal is that you complete your daily assignments in Canvas and your assessments. So your assessments would be MAP when it's time for that again, the IA we just talked about, when you're with a teacher reading sight words, anything like that is so important because that helps us to see how you're doing and to know what you need next. All right, and then our last goal is that you just keep learning and growing every day, which you're doing a super job with. All right, that's all we're focused on is just growing more and more each day. All right, friends, I am going to do a little show and tell with you right now. And I thought we would do a fall show and tell. I really like fall. It is one of my favorite seasons. My favorite time of fall is when the weather gets a little bit cooler. We're not totally there yet where I live in Cobb County. I'm not sure about you, but I need the weather to get just a little bit cooler where I can wear a sweatshirt, but no big coat. That's one of my favorite things to do. Or do you ever like to wear a hoodie and get wrapped up all snuggled in a hoodie? Sometimes I do that in my office here when I'm working. Well, one thing I'm going to show you for my show and tell for fall. This is one of my favorite sweatshirts. Oh goodness, let me turn off my background. That'll help you to be able to see the things I'm going to show. Let's see. Okay, now you can see me in my office. This is my, I live in Ackworth actually, but two of my three boys play baseball for Kennesaw baseball. And this is one of my favorite sweatshirts to wear to their games. I love baseball. I love fall ball. All right. I also specifically chose this shirt to wear today because a flannel shirt, a plaid shirt just makes me think of fall. And it reminds me of when I was a kindergarten teacher. Some of my favorite things that we did were in the fall. And we actually had a farmer dress up day in my classroom. And one of our favorite things to do was have a farmer's breakfast. And my favorite food from that was the scrambled eggs. It's one of my favorite breakfast foods. So fall and farm and apples. That's a little hint about the book I'm going to read to you. Those are some of my favorite things about fall. I've got one more thing I'm going to share with you, and that is actually two things. These are a couple decorations from my house that I really enjoy for fall. I have a sign up in my house that says Happy Fall, y'all. Very Southern there with the y'all, but I enjoy having a few little decorations around. And then I also have some pumpkins that one of my boys made a few years ago. I think he was in second grade when he made these. But this is something I wanted to show you that you could totally make at home too. Super easy. So Owen made these for me. And there's three of them. Hold them up so you can see them. You see how they're small and then a little bit bigger and then the biggest? And I could put them on my shelf kind of like this, where they're in a little bunch of three. But these are really cool. Do you see what they're supposed to look like? I know they're a funny shape, but they're supposed to be little pumpkins. And they are little pumpkins. You see, it says Owen on the bottom. So all that he did was just paint. This is just a little piece of wood. You might even have some scraps from another project. He just painted this orange. And then this is some stuff they got at the Dollar Tree. Just tie on the top. I've seen these done without this too. And then they just got a stick and hot glued it to the top to make the little pumpkin stump. Isn't that so cute? If anybody tries that out and makes one, you should send it to me. Email it to me so I can see. I'll put my email in the chat for you right now. My email is ibailey@georgiacyber.org. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. Just a few little fall things that I enjoy. And I would like to get to see some of your fall things or really anything that you want to show and tell. So guess what? I'm going to host a live show and tell in Jigsaw. And I would love to see you there, okay? If you would like to be a part of that, I'm going to give you the link right here to a survey so that you can enter this drawing, okay? And you'll get a special invitation to a lunch bunch show and tell with me and Jigsaw. So it will be one day during our lunchtime, okay? So if that's something you're interested in, then I want you to complete this survey. And you just need to make sure and put this information in correctly so that I know who you are and I can invite you. and you're going to tell me what is something you like to do in the fall. All right, let me put this survey link in the chat too. This will also be in the newsletter. Okay, awesome. So I am looking forward to a show and tell with you. Okay, so here is the story I am going to read aloud today. And I chose this book because it is all about apples, and apple pie. And apples are one of the great things to do in the fall. You might like to go to an apple orchard. That's a popular thing to do in September. I didn't get to do that this year, but this is called Annie the Apple Pie Fairy. All right, so I'm going to stop screen sharing for a minute so that you can see me better. And I'm going to read to you Annie the Apple Pie Fairy. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Bailey's hair looks a little wild this morning. Okay, Annie the Apple Pie Fairy. And I might try to make sure that you can see it okay and see how my lighting is here. I think that'll work. Annie the Apple Pie Fairy. So let's see what happens to her. This story has got a good message too at the end. I really like it. Ooh, and I just love look at all the apple pie in here. Let me play around with the light for just a second, friends. I want to make sure that you can see this well. Let's turn the page and check again. Sometimes we got to make a few little adjustments. I have a light on my desk. Ooh, that's not good. That's too bright. Maybe if I turn it away a little bit. I think it was better when it was off. Okay, Annie the Apple Pie Fairy. Look at these illustrations. You know, I told you in my last read aloud, I just love a book with good illustrations. Once in a wood by a bubbling brook, up high in an old apple tree, lived a fairy named Annie, a famous cook who baked apple pies on TV. Has anyone ever watched a cooking show? I know my little boy likes to watch on YouTube Kids, some of the kids' cooking shows. I used to enjoy that, cooking shows. She had her own show for years and years with her best friends, Pip and Cora. Every show ended with whoops and cheers. The fairies simply adored her. Apple Annie. All Annie's pies were made with care, simply and with nothing wasted. Whether with berries or pecans and pears, they were the best you've ever tasted. Look at that. Ah, yummy. Then one day, the TV screens turned a little glary. In a blaze of color, a new face appeared. Sandra the Strudel Fairy. Sandra's style was fancy. Her pies were never plain. The fairies switched to Sandra's show time and time again. So they're not watching Apple Annie. They want to watch Sandra the Strudel Fairy because she's super fancy. Wow, look at these cakes that she makes. Pies, I guess, rather. Pip declared, Chef Sandra will beat us if we let her. So we must do what Sandra does, but do it much, much better. Sandra thinks that she's the top, said Cora with a frown. We'll have to pull out all the stops to win back your baking crown. Ooh, it seems that they're getting into a little competition here. And so between the TV chefs, there arose a competition to make fancy pies and be the best became every fairy's mission. Every pie the rivals made was fabulously fashioned, with toppings and twirls so high they swayed. Decoration was never rationed. They're just trying to think of everything they can. Inside Annie's and Sandra's homes, the sound you always heard was the clatter and clunk of gadgets, which became ever more absurd. They had machines for cutting, slicing, peeling, dicing, flaking, shaking, beating, and breaking, rolling, molding, chopping, folding, whipping, mixing, brushing, and fixing. My goodness, look at these machines. So much work. Wow. They are really getting competitive. Soon, every fairy across the land was following Sandra's trend. Bigger, better, never bland. Wherever would it end? The machines made every kind of thing in every shape and size, but nobody seemed to notice. Not one made apple pies. Interesting. What do you think of that? Ooh, I like this page. But still the gadgets pinged and popped with whirs and purrs and clangs until the night when everything stopped with a flash and a deafening bang. That would be so much fun to draw. The fairies had a big surprise. Their power had totally blown. Friends, anybody know or have any guesses? Why do you think their power blew? What could have happened? Feeling scared, they took to the skies and flocked to Annie's tree home. They had a lot of stuff plugged in, all those machines. Pip found candles to light the scene and slippers to warm their feet, but with nothing to power their cooking machines, what would the poor fairies eat? Cora appeared inside the pantry. Annie joined her in despair. As far as either one could see, there was next to nothing there, just apples and butter and sugar and flour. Annie sighed and said to Sandra, I think things got out of hand. We forgot what matters in the end. We just didn't understand. Now I know what we should do. We must bake an apple pie. We'll add a spoonful of loving, the ingredient money can't buy. The pie was made the old-fashioned way, tasting sweet, just as it should. Sandra said, let's not compete. And apple pie was back for good. Look at what's happening. Annie and Sandra worked together and they saw their friendship grow as they starred with Pip and Cora on their brand new TV show. What I love about this book is that instead of competing and kind of fighting about who had to be the very best, they joined together and they found out that they were better together and that they could use the skills that they both had. All right, so I want to show you my last, where'd it go? My last slide here. I hope you enjoyed that book. I like that one a lot. I think that's a good message. You'll have to tell me what you thought about that book. Maybe I'm going to add that question to the survey so you can tell me, what did you think about Annie the Apple Pie Fairy? Thank you, friends, so much for watching today. And just like the fairies in the apple pie book, we are better together because we are champions. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a super day. I will see you next time.